Okay, I'll come forward. What's up, everyone? What's up, again? My name is Ooshcon, from Aotearoa, New Zealand. My bloodlines go back to Samoa. Just as a context to the question, I consider my teachers of waivers to be a lot of my ancestors. I'm quite new to the popping scene in America, and like, have we all seen Moana? Yeah, so those are my peeps, yo. And a lot of my traditional dances, like Siva Samoa, there's like this, and it's thousands of years old. And so I guess where I build my question from is a lot of my waving practice was from like grandparents and so on and so on. It wasn't until the past 2 years that I learned of its recent inception through popping. And so I think, me as an example, I've been teaching around New Zealand, and now there's heaps that are entering waving with the understanding as their body is the access door to waving. And so I guess my question is, how do we keep our minds open to the full possibility of what really is waving, while still uplifting and like not being bound to where it's come from, but being uplifted by it, you know?
I'm glad you asked that question because I thought about that on the way over here. The funk style, popping, funk, whatever scene you want to call this, you're right, it did not create waving. And I would even go so far to say it didn't create popping. All this stuff came somewhere else a long time ago. With b-boying, we all know those steps came from a long time ago. I acknowledge that. Like, wavers were on there. Before I was born, there's vaudeville and all these people that were doing these crazy waving. But we look at it in context. That's important. Context. In the context of this room, and we're having a competition with this type of music, that's when you have to kind of like say, okay, I gotta put away this, hey, it came from outer space somewhere a long time ago, and it's like this. Now we have to put it within context of this beats, and this music, and this community. And you gotta know when to do that, because waving can get very, very artsy. We've seen that. Waving can get kind of strange at times, where it looks like animalistic, and you're on the ground, and you're like, well, what the hell is that? And you're sliding like a snake. I get all that. You want to be artistic? Cool. But you have to know, like, okay, what do you want to do with it? Do I want to perform on stage? That's okay. Well, I'm not going to make money in the commercial field and say, hey, they need this guy to look like a snake for a commercial. Cool, go make some money. Okay, I'm going to go be judged by these 3 guys that are old school and they only know this kind of form, and I got to do it with fun. So I have to know what I'm doing to create here in this context. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of be flexible with that. Because some guys, believe me, don't come in and say, no, I'm just going to be free and wave, and I'm going to be this kind of weird thing. And I'm like, bro, Cirque du Soleil is over there. The circus is over there. Because believe me, I know friends used to be in the circus. Or there's entertainment things, avenues that you can do with that. Your ancestors, you said they did voodoo dancing, there's a bunch of different stuff. Asians that did that kind of stuff. It's in context. I couldn't go over there and pop and wave the way I do. They'd probably look at me and say, you're kind of doing what we do, but it's not what we do. It's a different context. So just to know what, fit it with the context of what you're doing.
Can I respond to that? Because we create.
No, you can't. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, I just want to respond to it because it's really exciting what you're saying, because I think that we can all agree that we're building new context, and I think I'm interested in how are we moving, because I get the whole, like, we don't want to let it go too far to a point where it's not identified, but part of me is like excited for how are we keeping our mind open to the new possibilities of this thing, because we can agree that it's like, it keeps going. It's this like endless ocean that keeps going.
I don't want to put like crazy limitations. I don't want to put like crazy limitations. Believe me, I'm completely against that. I like to have 1 foot in the old school, so to speak, and then 1 foot in the new school. That's always what I've kind of lived on. I have this little kind of a concept that we should talk about. Like there's the old school museum, right? We can all go to the museum down the street and see these old dinosaurs. Sorry, some of my friends, and like, hey, I remember that, and that guy danced like that. It's like, okay, but if they come to life and they come to the new school, like they haven't changed, there's no evolution. I want to see the evolution. I get inspired by some of these news guys, and I'm like, oh damn, look at the stuff they do. It's crazy. I better keep up, or else I have to go sit in a museum, right? Where you pay $3 to get in. I don't want to make boundaries. I don't like the rules, but there's got to be some context. You have rules in baseball. You have rules in basketball. Before Michael Jordan, they wanted that many people to slam dunk, and then if it wasn't for him, somebody didn't break that rule and say, okay, you can slam dunk, you wouldn't have Michael Jordan or LeBron James. So it had to take steps to get somewhere. Yeah, it can go, but somebody's got to give some type of a guidance and say, hey, don't go too crazy because then it becomes something else. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's really good. I think for me, to add that was a really good point. It comes to a place of this is a new thing, yes, but it's not a new thing, right? And it's developing right in front of our eyes. We're doing it right now, right? Now, for me, what comes to my mind firstly is, and the reason why I also wanted to bring someone who's been here and done it for such a long time, is the fact that I respect what's came before me so much that that is the magic of what got me to change my way, my thought process, my thinking, and also take it to the next level. I'm pretty sure after my generation, you guys will take it to the next level. But for me, it's about respecting what comes before and also appreciating it enough to know what it is. And because imagine, let's say for instance, imagine that just waving is free and you can do whatever you want. Pretty soon, it's going to be something completely different than what we're creating right now. And people like me will get lost in the sauce. Nobody will know who we are. It's about appreciation and respect. And I feel like waving is pretty much one of the styles that is most free without too many boundaries, actually. And I think that's the beauty of it. And it's just, it's up to each person, actually. And this is a great conversation. I think we can be opening up dialogue with this in the future for many months and years to come. But I think what we're doing now, it all comes back to that appreciation, the respect for the old and the new. And exactly, I have the same thought process as Hugo, one foot in the past, one in the future, and we're moving together in the same simultaneous line. So, yeah.
I said the same thing when I was teaching that Hugo just said, and context could be a subjective word sometimes. So when I think context for waving, I think of context of this. And I think it's important to acknowledge your cultural roots. At the same time, these guys made a culture. And they made it at a certain, I don't know, what year do you want to say that the waving style, the culture of waving really came about, but they created a culture that we are now moving with. So you have to understand where it comes from before you can know where it's going.
Great question, great answers. For time's sake, we do have to end the Q&A right there, but as you know, most waivers are open books. If you have any questions,